Well, good evening and hello. My name is Wes McVicker, and welcome to the virtual conservation dinner. This is our second time doing this virtually. We're hoping to come together, but we just figured just one more year virtually, we'll make this happen. Tim asked me to do this for him. He's going to be with you April 7th, but he asked if I would come in. I said, Tim, I've had my head in my own foundation for so many years in nonprofit that came to an end just before the pandemic, but you know, I'm just kind of ignorant about what's going on. So I said, what I've been able to do in the last little while is just discover what you folks have been doing, what the Exeter Lions Club has been doing, and what the AuSable Bayfield Conservation Foundation has been doing together for 32 years. My eyes have been open to the wonderful things that are happening here across 4 different counties. So I want to thank Tim very much. He says, you know what, just take that approach. Take the approach that you're a newbie at all of this. And so here I am, Wes McVicker, newbie, with all the wonderful things that you guys are doing. You know, like I say, this has been going on for 32 years, and I always like to put things in perspective sometimes. So 32 years ago, Mandela was released from prison. And 32 years ago, Seinfeld first aired. And it was also the last time the Oilers won the Stanley Cup. So that will put things in perspective, put things into some perspective as to how long this has been going on, this partnership between the Exeter Lions Club and the foundation. You have raised over $1.2 million. Again, as a newbie coming in, unbelievable. And you know, usually dinners like this, conservation dinners or gala dinners, that sort of thing, they say maybe 7-8 years and then you have to go on to another thing. 32 years is amazing that you guys have been going on for that long. 1.2 million raised. And there's 2 ways that you can, that we're going to be raising money. It's something new that we tried last year, and that is Dine for Your Community. And the second way, of course, is the online auction. And I believe that you can see on the banner below just how to get to that. You know what? I have some visual aids with me today, because that's just going to help me. And I didn't, I'd be really interested to see if this works. This is going to take you right to, I don't know, boys, what do you think? This is old school, but new school at the same time. And there's a QR code. If you're like my wife and you're watching TV, but you're on your phone at the same time, give that a try. I'd like to see if that works. That might take you, I'm hoping that's going to take you right to the online auction. If you didn't feel like typing in all those letters on the bottom banner, just something fun for you to try. Suzanne, if you want to try that, it's my wife, go ahead. You know, we've got a lot to fill in here. We got some people here. We've got Mark Keller from the Lions Club, James Eddington, and David Frayne, chair of the charitable or the conservation dinner committee. So I don't want to run past time or through time. How are we doing? We're at 7:05 already, or can I put something else in there? I see Mark just looking at me, just so keen, ready to go. But oh yeah, okay, all right, he's ready to go. And tonight's card night, so we won't keep him too long. I know. But it's great to see him here. And just let me know, guys, when we're ready to go. I might be a bit early. Okay. All right. Mark, right on. I've got the thumbs up.
Yes.
I think that's a thumb anyways from Nick. And Mark, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here. And of course, I just appreciate being here and being allowed to partake in what you guys are doing. I just wondered if you could just give us some of your thoughts as to, you know, what it's like to be, you know, chair of the Lions Club, or sorry, president of the Lions Club, and to look around and see what you have accomplished together with the foundation for like over 30 years.
You know, Wes, thanks for having me on. You know, I've been a Lion now since 2013, when I moved back to the hometown from London. Joined the club pretty quick as soon as I got back. And, you know, it's been one of the best experiences I've had in my life, to be honest with you. being a Lion here in this community has been a great experience for myself to see actually what our community needs and to be able to give back and help the community. Um, yeah, the Conservation Authority, the Conservation Dinner. I remember when I first started, I used to help set up chairs, and then I'd come at the end of the night and I'd help take down the chairs and clean up. And what a great experience to see so many people helping. Um, a great cause, absolutely a great cause. I mean, I use the trails, especially over the past couple of years. My family and I have used the trails. We've used the parks. They're such an important part of our community, and I'm happy that it's there, and we have so much great support towards it.
Right. And how long have you been president now, Mark, of the
You
Lions
know,
Club?
I did an extra term. This is my second year. The first year in 2020 was a little touch and go. Not sure what we were going to be doing, but you know what? It worked out great. The club, we did our job even through the pandemic. We raised a lot of money, and we have actually given a lot of money to those in need in the community. That's for sure. So it's
Yeah.
been great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I know that, we can't be together. I've never been to a dinner, and I've only heard about the dinners, and it was actually something that I was always a little bit envious of when I was doing my own dinner for the Education Foundation that I was involved with. 400 people at South Huron Recreation Center. I mean, numbers that I could only just dream of. I'm just wondering if you could just sort of, for those who've never been there, if you could just sort of describe what it's like and what it will be like, because we're going to come together again for sure, but maybe just sort of give us a taste of what those evenings were like.
Well, actually, just last week we were talking about it. Looking forward to when it is in person once again, actually having a dinner. I was talking to a few of the guys that actually ran the bar, and I mean, I think they would know how much fun everyone was having, the actual guys serving the beverages. They were busy all night long. It was a fantastic event. I mean, it's well put together. Everyone does have a great time. And everybody is there to support the Conservation Authority and support our parks. It's a great experience, and everyone looks really good too. Really good.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. How many? Now Tim has been good enough to just put a few things down for me, which is, and of course I've delved into them further once he put those down. I didn't realize, and this is something I've only heard of. Being in Central Huron, I use trails in the parks all, through this area, but I don't often get your way too often, and the region is so huge. Like, here's another visual aid. I mean, when you think of it, see how huge that is, you can't really see it very well up here, but basically what I'm pointing to is, I'm pointing to 4 different counties. Central Huron goes to Clinton, Seaforth, Grand Bend, Bayfield, Arkona, sort of touches almost into Strathroy, Ilderton, up through Stafford. It's massive. There's so much discovery for me, for sure, that I'm going to be able to do with my family very soon. I don't know why. We just sort of stick to what we know. But what I was going to say is that you were involved in the creation and the maintenance, and basically the maintenance of the South Huron Trail, which I've heard a lot about, but I've never been able to really experience. And of course, you have the annual fishing derby and the parks at McNaughton Park. These sorts of things. Like, what does that? How do you feel when you look around at that and you just know that you and your club and your friends and your colleagues have been involved with that for so many years? People who've come and gone, Lions who've come and gone. How does that make you feel when you see something tangible like that?
I think actually by going out and using that trail system, and I have been up to the Clinton area, my family and I've used some of the trails up there. Just by using the trail system that the Conservation Authority, ourselves, and many other donors absolutely have created, it makes you feel like you're in touch. You're in touch with nature. You're in touch with what's important. And it is such a fantastic breather to get out there and use it. So, I mean, the feeling, it's an incredible feeling. And I mean, I think I can speak for our whole club when we say It has been an absolute pleasure dealing with the Conservation Authority when it comes to these projects. I mean, you take a look at the time and the energy we spend down at McNaughton Park putting up the Christmas lights. They look fantastic every year, and that is a lot of man hours to do that. I give our club and all the help that we get from others too, big pat in the back for that. So spending time making things look fantastic. We're really proud of the system. We're proud of what we're doing.
It's so important, talked to a few people who have sort of in my line of work beforehand, and a lot of times we would be doing things, but we would never quite see the fruits of our labors. It was usually in education, and you never quite knew if this enrichment or this particular things or things that would help financially for kids. You never quite got to see the fruits of your labors. That's the beauty of that. That's why I wanted to ask that question. How does it make you feel to see, what you have accomplished over the years, over, this year, or the last year, over the past 32 years? It's been incredible. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot more of what you guys have been up to that way. I'm just wondering if you've been on the online auction, if you've seen anything in particular that you would that you'd like.
I know I'm going to be fighting with a few fellow Lions Club members on a few items. I was eyeing up the Matthews jersey, that's for sure. But I'm sure Lion Mark Denemy is going to trounce all over me on that one. Actually, Ray-Ban sunglasses, definitely, those are cool. I like those. And of course, all the golf packages. I always throw money at those and see what happens for sure. But there's so many great things on there. Obviously, the highlight for us as Lions is Lion Diane Carson, the quilt that she made of the lion. I'm hoping there's going to be a big battle over that one over the next few days, because I know we are definitely interested in it for sure.
Yeah,
it's great stuff.
I do feel bad for anybody who's looking at that line as well too, because I think there's going to be the competition is going to be fierce. It is a thing of beauty, and coming up we're going to have a feature. We're just going to have a video about Diane, about her work, and you're really going to love that. That's coming up a little bit later in the second half. All right, Mark, is there anything else that you'd like to add before I let you go play some cards? I know you probably didn't want me to bring that up, but I know it's card night.
That's okay. That is okay. Just want to a couple of things. Since just in our Lion season, and our Lion season basically runs from July until July. So our 2021-2022 season, the Lions Club in Exeter has donated over $30,000 so far for projects in our community. Big Brothers Big Sisters, Jessica's House, the Hospital Foundation, South Huron District High School. We're trying to do a lot there, promoting, being a volunteer to the kids, being a volunteer for your community, because it's personally rewarding, and plus it's our community. We need people to come together to make it what it is. So the Lions Club, what we're here for, we do well, and we appreciate everybody that donates to all of the things that we do. Like you said, we have Fish Derby coming up. We have golf tournaments that we put on throughout the year. So basically, wanted to say thank you for everybody that supports our club, and we're going to continue to do the best job that we can with their help. Thanks, Wes.
Thank you. Mark Keller, everyone, president of the Exeter Lions Club. Thanks for joining us, Mark. Bye-bye. It's always great to talk to Mark, always great to talk to a Lion. They have a heart of a lion, all of those guys and gals and the Lionesses. So thanks so very much again, Mark. And I know next, soon we have James Eddington. I'm just wondering if I have some time. I didn't even bring my clock, but if I had some time, Nick or Clint, if you could just let me know, or if we want to go right into James, that's fine too. Yeah, that's good. All right, I think I'll just keep going then with my visuals, if I might. Look, this is perfect time to talk about Dine for Your Community, which is the one half. This is kind of a new half that we came up with last year. There's restaurants involved. They're going to bring a percentage of their proceeds are going to go toward what we're doing here for between now and April 7th, I believe. So let me just, oh, here's James right here, and actually he's going to talk about it. In fact, let me do this, my visual aid right here. Eddington's. See this, like, I'm gonna, some music, beautiful graphics, is gonna flip, it's gonna do that. Eddington's, okay, owner and restaurateur James Eddington is generously donating 25% of all proceeds from meals sold at Eddington's of Exeter, casual fine dining restaurant, on Wednesday, April 6th. The feature meal, nope, I'm not gonna talk about that because he's gonna talk about the feature meal, and it's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna welcome James because I can see James on the screen right now. Why don't we just bring him in right now? James Eddington, everyone.
Hey Wes, how are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you, James. Great to see you. Thanks very much. And yeah, I didn't want to steal your thunder there. And we're going to talk about what you're going to serve. But first of all, I understand that you have been out of 32 years, and I was just telling the folks that, you know, I brought it into perspective about how long this has been going on, this conservation dinner. I mentioned the fact that Mandela was just released from prison, and Seinfeld just aired, and Simpsons just aired, and these sorts of things. So that's been a long time, but you've been involved as James, not only just the James Eddington of Eddington's, but you've been involved with the conservation dinner for 24 years, is that right?
Yeah. 24 years now, yeah, correct.
Wow. Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like even 24 years ago? I know it's always been a partnership, right, between Exeter Lions Club and AuSable Bayfield Conservation Foundation, I believe. But I wonder if you could tell me what it was like during those times and how it grew.
Well, it was great. Yeah, you could see each year that the galas, the banquets were growing and growing, but it was always a good social event for the community and a good support of the conservation. And it was always, it's just one of those things you wanted to be part of every year. So it was great. Right. And I remember many years with the late John Norris, sitting with him every year, or with the Lions Club. It was always a great event.
And now you have, like I say, you've been involved for 24 years. I just wonder, you know, sometimes I just was talking to Mark, and he was Mark Keller from the Lions Club, and he's just so enthusiastic. There must be something in the water down there. And he was just so enthusiastic and very giving and very appreciative of his community. And I just wonder why. I know even from where I live and the circles I've been involved with in education, I always heard the name James Eddington, and I always knew, and I always heard that how involved you are in the community. Why is being involved, other than making it a place for Eddingtons to you know, I mean, these aren't great graphics, right? But this is a nice logo. Why is James the person, which I hear, why is it so involved to be in, so important to be involved in your community there? I know that was my long way of saying I just want to get to know you a little bit.
I think it's essential. Being involved in your community is also protecting your future, right? Just as in do the conservation. It's not just, I think we were talking earlier, Wes, and it's like being involved in these things is what supports our community. And Exeter and surrounding area and the Huron County area, like everybody is so supportive of like our Lions Club being part of that and just working together with the community groups. It's just a win-win for everybody.
Now, I understand that you also hold a particular honor that you have been, you were basically a culinary artist one year. I'm not exactly sure what year, but you were chosen as the culinary artist. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, it was a great honor to be the feature artist that year, and it was nice to see that it wasn't just art was perceived as traditional art, but in the actual art of the culinary field. We have such a landscape of materials at our own back door with fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, local produce, what's growing out of our fields within our region. So it was a great honor to be considered to be art, which we as chefs feel that every day. That's our one side of our brain working, and how we can make that plate a presentation, and how we can tell our story with our food. And when it's food from our region, it's even better.
That's a great segue, because I'm kind of wondering what story you're going to be telling on April 6th, on Wednesday. with
Actually,
your
so
art.
we're doing a local pork tenderloin, and with theme with the season, we're doing a brown butter maple glaze, so fresh maple from our local region, and then we're doing a Hensel white bean. So as you know, Hensel is the white bean capital of Canada, so we're doing a white bean succotash with that. We're going to offer a full menu as well, but we're happy to do a locally featured dish, and it's astounding when other chefs we talk and we communicate, and they say, well, how do you do local in February, March, April, May? Well, there's lots of things in being in such an agriculturally rich area. Our local producers, there's pork, there's poultry, the local beef, and then there's the vegetables that we can sell are the white beans, the kidney beans, the Atibo beans, and then the root vegetables that we get late harvest with wax turnips and squash and rutabaga and carrots and potatoes and onions. I could go on, but we're, like I said, we're lucky to be in a province where we can still eat within the season, eat within the region, and even which is cropping up, there's greenhouses and there's things to get local peppers and tomatoes and cucumbers, and yeah.
No, it's an amazing place to be, that's for sure. And, I'm just curious as how, I see your passion. I've been to your restaurant many times. I kept a low profile, of course, but I'm just wondering, I've never quite known how Eddington's came to be. I know that you've been back for quite some time, like 20 some odd years, but how did it come to be?
Actually, it was just the original restaurant was Robindale's, and Robindale were my two college professors when I was taking hotel, restaurant, and culinary management at Fanshawe College. To be honest with you, I'd never been to Exeter a day in my life, and I had a job lined up at Disney World for my apprenticeship for school, and they mentioned that their old restaurant was for sale. It had been closed. It was the Frenchman's Inn. It had been closed for a period of time, and I took a drove up. I fell in love with the house. I peeked my eye in the window, and then I called up Chef Michael Bonat, and he leased me the building for the first year. And then 25 years later, that's history. I fell in love with the building. I fell in love with the community. I fell in love with the town, and yeah.
Left, and we're very glad that you haven't. Look, I know that Tim and those who were around me, they're trying to prep me for tonight. They wanted to make sure that I expressed as much thanks as possible for the years and the years that you've been involved, that you've given. And I just want to encourage everybody, if you can. I know the house is big, but hopefully we can pack it. On Wednesday, April 6th. He's going to be doing a pork tenderloin, like he mentioned, with some succotash and white bean. Have you ever done white squirrel? I'm just kind of wondering, it's kind of an Exeter flair. But
we do, if those who are regulars, we do our famous white squirrel cheesecake. So we do we do a white squirrel cheesecake in honor of our local white squirrel. So
Okay, that's close enough. Just be interesting.
Yeah. You start at the head or you start at the tail, right? Go for the ribs.
That's right. Gotta eat local. Well, very good. Well, thanks, James. Is there anything else that you want to add before we let you go?
I just wanted to say thank you, and it's been an honor to be part of the foundation, the gala, and just being here every year. And it's different doing it in my office, running up from the kitchen, being here, than actually the actual event and having So I hope the support is just as good as this year as it has been in the past, because, like I said, we're proud to be part of this community, and the support that rallies behind it is second to none. And so I wish everybody the best, and thanks for having me tonight.
Thanks, James. Everyone, James Eddington from Eddington's. Go see him on Wednesday. Thanks, James.
Great to see you, Wes. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
Bye. Always good to talk to James, and since we're talking about food, let me go through some of the other restaurants that are participating in Dine for Your Community. Okay, what do we Hessenland. Can you see that? Hessenland. There we go. There's some branding right there. Hessenland Inn and Schatz Winery in St. Joseph is offering the following fundraiser entrees in support of the virtual conservation dinner. That's between March 31st and April 2nd from noon till 7. Okay, they're offering a turkey tenderloin, and they're offering vegetables spaghettini. Oh, I love it, spaghettini. And you go to the website, oh boy, that looks good. Stuffed turkey tenderloin is stuffed with leeks, mushrooms, cranberries, and comes with root vegetable mash and maple glazed mixed vegetables. Or for $28.95, enjoy vegetable spaghettini. So they are donating $5 from each of their features sold. Oh boy, I wish I had more than a rice cake before I came here. All right, next, if we have some time. Lake Hound Restaurant. Oh, look at you. Oh, this. You guys, they just set this camera up for me. You guys are amazing. Nick and Clint and all the boys, and let's see, the Lake Hound Restaurant, and Andrew in the back, the Lake Hound Restaurant offers pickerel dinner to go in support of the community. Okay, pickerel dinner, I mean, come on. That is from 4 to 8 p.m., March 31st and April 1st. Oh, that's tonight. What time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock. You better get over there to Lake Hound and get some pickerel. But April 1st as well, too. So that's tomorrow. And that's no April Fool, because that happens, this is 4 to 8. That only goes till noon. So you head to 4 to 8 tomorrow, get some pickerel dinner, and they're going to donate $3 from every pickerel dinner sold. Okay, let's see if I can. Wow, it's upside down. I'll get some music with it. Robinson's Fresh Cafe. The Conservation Dinner Committee is excited to announce that Robinson's Fresh Cafe will be participating in the Dine for Your Community. Okay, what do we got? $2 for each grab-and-go entree sold during the week of Thursday, which is today, March 31st, until Thursday, April 7th. So it's the whole span of the virtual conservation dinner. Thank you very much, Robinson Fresh Cafe. All right, next is the Lake House. The Lake House will be offering their barbecue box, which includes a half rack of smoked pork back ribs with whiskey barbecue sauce, 6 smoked chicken wings with special sauce, plus 2 sides, all for $30. That's $3 of each of those are going to be sold or given to the virtual conservation dinner. And this will be available Thursday, April 7th and Thursday, April 14th. Oh, they're going overtime. Yeah, well done. Way to go. All right. And last but not least, Dublin's Family Restaurant. They're going to be donating $2 from each of the veal parmesan with garlic bread. To every featured item sold there, they're going to donate $2, and that's going to run Tuesday, March 22nd, to Saturday, March 27th. So they started early. They're so keen. They started early, and they're going to go to March 27th. Well, maybe that could be a typo. We'll go talk. That could be a typo. Who knows? But anyways, go to Dublin's anyways and just give them a chit chat. I'll pay the difference. Don't worry about that. That's on me. All right, boys. Do I have any more time to talk about some other things, or should I just go right to Dave? Hold on. Oh, is it Diane? Oh, okay, that's great. I'm looking forward to this because I did not watch this for a reason, because I just wanted to watch it with you folks tonight. This is about our featured artist, Diane, and Diane Carson. So let's roll that tape. Diane.
Diane Carson is owner of the Electric Quilter Long Arm Custom Quilting, which she started in 1999. Diane of Exeter is a winner of the Best Machine Workmanship ribbon in the World Quilt Competition. She has quilted more than 3,000 quilts for her clients, and her beautiful work has received many awards in Canada and the United States. The Conservation Dinner Committee is honored to announce that Diane is the 2022 Feature Artist. She is the first quilter to receive this recognition. Congratulations, Diane.
I sewed it together, a technique called paper piecing, and it took, a month before I got the top done, and then the quilting was all my design. I put on the thread work and the design with my thoughts in it. In our profession, we call it fiber art, and there are a distinction between quilts. There are fiber artists, and there are art quilters, and there are quilt piecers, and modern art and traditional. My husband helps lug quilts. If I go to do a trunk show or set up quilts sometimes at a quilt show, he'll come and help take down, and he's quite supportive. And I don't call myself an artist, I call myself a quiltist, because it's the quilting that is my design. The top of the quilt is someone else's design usually. I have a topper, and that's a person that puts the quilts together, and we call them toppers. And I work with one in particular, Ann Bowden, and when we find a beautiful quilt, we enter it in shows, and together we've won several at Quilt Canada. This year that will be in Vancouver. It's been in Ottawa and London and Halifax. And my motto, respect the piecing, means I go along this piecing and make sure it's all tacked down rather than doing a design over it all and not highlighting the piecer's work. Where a person brings a quilt in, I know where they've sewn, and I try and stitch on those lines instead of covering those lines up. And the person I work with, Anne, makes a lot of very intricate quilts with pieces as small as 1/2 inch. And so they take very long to quilt and do the design so it doesn't take over from the piecing, which is the show part. But I try and add something to make it more show worthy with the quilting. This is Best Scrap Quilt, a viewer's choice. This was Excellence in Piecing, Judge's Choice. And then of course there's first, second, and third in categories. They're all, at a quilt show, they're put into categories. This is a long arm quilting machine, and this is the quilt top that I'm going to quilt for a client who has put a lot of work into piecing this. There's little 1-inch pieces here. And I'm going to have to change thread colors so that the thread does not show over top of their piecing in particular. I want to show the quilting, but I don't want to show off more than the piecing shows off. If I were stitching on this, on a straight line, I may have a ruler along here and I follow it. A lot of people put them in piles. They're quite colorful in a pile of quilts. On the walls is very popular because they're smaller and quicker to make, and a lot of people make lap quilts just to have on the couch to cuddle up in. And of course, whenever there's a baby or a wedding, the quilters show up with something they've made for that. There's like over 300 now long arm quilters in Ontario, and we get together twice a year, and I bring in teachers lately by Zoom, but we will get together this fall in person. I think Exeter can be very proud that they have such a thriving Lions Club in the community, and the conservation dinner is one of their biggest events, and it's a lot of fun when we can have it in person. And this club backs me. I'm the committee member for the dog walk that's held every May, and we'll be doing it again this May in person and for dog guides. But I enjoy seeing what people bring in and then seeing their happy faces when they go home with it quilted.
There we have it. Diane Carson, everyone. Today's or this year's award winner, a feature artist. And she doesn't call herself an artist, she calls herself a quilter, but an artist just the same for sure. I was reading a little bit about her today about long arm quilting and how much she loves doing it, but it's a very lonely way to quilt, and much like a writer. So I really appreciated that video today, and thanks for putting that together. I'm glad we got to play it. You know, next, I have a big Diane Carson fan coming up. Dave Frayne, he's chair of the Conservation Dinner Committee. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Wes. How are you doing tonight?
Very good, very good. It's great to see you. I know we've talked over the phone, but it's nice to see you in person. It's things seem to be going well here. The last time I checked the auction, I think we'd raised over $12,000, so I'm not sure. That was probably a few hours ago. And incidentally, people, it's just underneath here. You can just sort of go right to the auction right there. Just type that in.
I did check it a little while ago too, Wes, and it was over 21,000.
What? Really?
It was over 21,000 a while ago.
Okay. Wow, that changed radically. Wow, we must be doing our job here.
Yeah. Well, they watch
Very
you on TV, and Mark and James and Diane here, and you're must be just coming in with the donations.
Yes, they're just rolling in. Yep, I feel like Jerry Lewis. Let's just make it happen. I'm just wondering if you could, I was telling everyone, how long this has been going on. 32 years, $1.2 million. Can you just talk about that a little bit, about your thoughts on that incredible partnership and the longevity of that?
Well, I think it's due to the fact that both groups, the foundation and the Lions Club, are local identities, and everything they do and the funds they raise go back in the community. And it seemed to be a good mix when we joined together 32 years ago to go forward with this conservation dinner to benefit both groups and all our communities. It's not just Exeter. We have we built with the Lions Club. It is Exeter area, and with the foundation, we're part of Huron, Perth, Lambton, Middlesex, and so we cover multi areas, and those funds go back to all those areas. I think it's just a good mix.
Oh, it's it's a huge mix, and I was just going through. I won't make you guys do that cool camera thing, but I was just looking at the area, the last few days, the area that the Au Sable Bayfield covers. It's amazing, over 4 counties. The amount of projects that are involved, and I wonder if you could just talk about some of the things that this money is going toward.
Well, like I said, we work with all counties. We have as Mark mentioned earlier there's going to be a fishing derby next month, or actually in May, and that is somewhat sponsored by the foundation, some of the funds that we get from the community. There's Elsie Gregg is having a family day fishing coming up in the summer. We have wetland enhancements. We have trails. We have the South Huron Trail. We have the Bannockburn Trail. We have the Friends of the Trail in Bayfield. And in all, some of those things are all sponsored by partways by the foundation. We also have a bursary for $1,000 to a student that's going on through the foundation. We offer a job with the Au Sable Bayfield Conservation Authority. So there's work, there's education, there's we put on equipment in different conservation areas. Rock Glen comes to mind there. Port Franks, we have a phenomenal group down there at Little Lake with doing turtle habitat and monitoring, making sure the turtles don't get run over. Some of them are rare turtles too, so with that. In Grand Bend, we have the old Au Sable Channel besides Silcott Pines. And, the money is spent all around. We do tree planting. We've got the Clinton Conservation Area. We have great partners, even with Haskett's Funeral Home, with planting the trees in the fall, September for the celebration of life. Remember our people who have passed away. We've just got phenomenal support from all types of people, organizations, and businesses. So I just think it really works well.
Oh yeah, it really is. Like I mentioned off the top, I'm just a newbie at this. So to do the research, to talk to listen to all of you tonight it is the amount of work that you folks are doing yearly and over the last number of years has just been phenomenal. And I've been able to witness and take in quite a few of these things that I know they don't magically happen, but you go to these trails or you see these things. And even I was involved with the AuSable Bayfield Conservation Area just with some education programming years ago. And I enjoyed my time with them and with the foundation. But, I just got a snapshot of what it was that they were involved with. And now to talk to the Exeter Lions Club and now to you, Dave, I'm just amazed with your passion and your hard work. Now, before we go, I'm wondering if you want to talk. I know you're a big Diane Carson fan. I'm wondering did you want to mention anything about that?
Well, I think it's a great honor. The Lions Club, her own club, nominated her to be the featured artist of the year. And as you saw in the video there, she has a great work ethic. Her products are wonderful. And she does have a quilt in the auction. So don't be afraid to go there and bid on it. I said, she's world renowned in her area. So I said, that's coming from Exeter. And you talked about James before, Eddington. Eddington's is well known throughout the fine dining areas of Ontario, and we happen to have them in Exeter. So I said, we have phenomenal people. And in regards to the foundation, the Lions Club, we have community members, we have staff from the AuSable Bayfield Authority that all work behind the scenes. And it's not just 2 or 3 people doing this. This is going out there, knocking on doors, making phone calls. We've got great volunteers. We've got so much huge support from the community. I said one of the last projects we did was the Ted Jones Bridge at the Morrison Dam. And it didn't take long to raise $300,000 to get that bridge going. It's just, this area seems to be a wealth of giving and loving your community. I said, we have the wonderful trails. They're sought after, and it's right within our backyard and open all year round. It's just, we've got so much going in this area, and for all the communities that we are involved with, there's trails in Lucan, there's trails in House of Craig, there's trails in Bannockburn, there's trails in Clinton, and also in the Bayfield. We just have all sorts of things. And plus, we sort of, years ago, the Pioneer Provincial Park became a provincial park because the AuSable Bayfield thought it was too large for them to take it over. And the government went in and made it a provincial park for everybody to enjoy and use. So we've got protected shorelines, we've got protected wetlands, we've got protected habitat and species at risk. It's just through the generosity of everybody that we can do this.
Yes, it's a very generous community and a love of community. That's something that's a real vibe I'm getting tonight. So, Dave, is there anything else that you would like to add before we go?
I think Mark spoke well, and James spoke well, and Diane spoke well, and you're going to have maybe people after me too. But it's just, I'd like to thank everybody who's taking part in our online auction. We would love to have gotten together, and I don't want to be known as the chair who never had a dinner. So hopefully next year, if I'm still chair, that we can get together, meet in person, shake hands, have a glass of wine or a beer together, and just enjoy the comradeship that we all would have together and support. I thank everybody for their support, because everything, as I said before, the funds that raised through this dinner and online is all returned to the community. We have no paid staff on our foundation, and it's all volunteers. So everything you can do makes us and the communities better. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks so much, Dave. And we don't want you to be known as the chair with no dinner, so maybe next year for sure. Thanks so much, Dave Frayne, everyone, from Conservation Dinner Committee. Thanks very much, Dave. Okay, next we are going to go into some videos, and so I will let those play, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hi, I'm Tammy Sparling, owner of the Quilt Kitchen here in Exeter, Ontario. I've been asked every year since I've been open, which is now 3 years, to donate to the Asabo Bayfield Conservation Foundation and the Exeter Lions Club, and I feel it's very worthwhile doing that. We always donate a quilt, and we hope that the person who receives the quilt is as happy with it as we were to make it. Everything is made right here in Huron County, so everything is local, which I think is very encouraging, and going forward I think supporting local and shopping local will be key to keeping our small communities alive. This quilt is just a collection of fabric from Denise Burkett, who is an Australian designer. She gathers her inspiration from nature. She travels all across Australia and takes pictures and picks up seed pods and flowers. Then she comes back home and paints what she sees. Then they produce it onto fabric. So this is just a collection of her incredible fabrics, all in beautiful bright colors. Firstly, I'd like to talk about the trail, the Morrison Trail. Any of you who have ever used it, I'm sure absolutely love it. It's a great meeting place for you and your friends. During COVID, it was a great place to meet because you could social distance, walk along the trail, be outdoors, and just enjoy nature. It's very well maintained and looked after, and there's always something to see along the trail. That's one of my favorite parts. The next is the forestry part of the Asabo Bayfield. We use it every year. We've purchased trees for about the last 5 years that we plant on our farm. And we have seen little tiny trees grow into great big trees now. So it's really encouraging to see that. This year we purchased over 1,000 trees. We will get them in April. We're doing a little reforestation portion on our farm. So we're super excited about that. The other thing I'm very passionate about is the turtle program. My grandkids also love it. We've been to see the release of the turtles, and they absolutely love that, as do I. And we go online and visit the turtle site and do some of the turtle education portion as well.
Good evening. My name is Peter Moser Williams, and I recently moved to Exeter in 2018 and have really enjoyed the Exeter area. My wife and I have gotten to know so many wonderful people in the community and so many interesting things to do and see. Of course, the conservation trails were a highlight with us because we enjoy walking and being out in the trees in the woods and meeting other people out enjoying the same area. It's so convenient to have it so close right here in town, a wonderful opportunity that so many communities don't have. It's a natural trail, it's outdoors, you don't see buildings for an hour's walk, you don't hear the usual city noises, and certainly the number of people on the trails is limited, which is also wonderful just for the excitement of being wandering trails often just by ourselves. So much to see, too much to experience out here in probably one of the nicest wooded areas in this part of southern Ontario. Being a northern Ontario boy, this makes me feel very comfortable, very much at home amongst the evergreen trees, the rivers, the creeks, the animals. It is all so very, shall we say, northern Ontario, but down here in southwestern Ontario. I would like to thank Tim and the Conservation Dinner Committee for the opportunity to talk about the importance of the South Huron Trail and parks here in the Exeter area. When my wife Linda and I moved to Exeter in the fall of 2018, we had seen the park at Morrison Dam. We had no idea then that the trails connected from McNaughton Park in town, along the AuSable River, to the Morrison Dam, and then almost to McTaggart Line. We have enjoyed the conservation area trails in all the seasons. Lynn and I have seen so much beauty here. We've seen the first snowflakes of fall and the first trilliums in spring. We've seen ducks and baby geese in the summertime. We've seen the leaves change color in autumn, and we have enjoyed the tracks of small animals in the winter snow. My wife and I have seen rabbits, colorful butterflies, raccoons, deer, birds of many kinds, and the famous white squirrels too. We have met people from London, Stratford, and from all along Ontario's west coast. We have met bird watchers, hikers, and walking groups from other communities. In the summer of 2020, as the COVID-19 pandemic became a challenge to public health, the trails were busier than ever and were needed more than ever. It was so wonderful to see parents and grandparents out enjoying the trails and their children and grandchildren. It gave us great joy to see the storyboards along the Storytime Trail. How lovely it was to see daycare workers showing children the wonders of a forested area. In wintertime, we see skaters and ice fishers on Morrison Lake and cross-country skiers and snowshoers on the trails. It really is a trail for all seasons. The trails require a lot of maintenance. We appreciate all the hard work of the Conservation Authority staff. Would also like to give special thanks to the Friends of the South Huron Trail. These dedicated volunteers come out annually to clean up and trim along the trail route. It is always fun to help out with other people who truly appreciate the trails. I'd like to thank the Exeter Lions Club for their years of work for parks and trails in this area and for helping to raise funds to make them possible. The Lions Club, together with the AuSable Bayfield Conservation Foundation, have truly left a lasting local legacy. One of the benefits of walking the trails is the exercise you get. As seniors, we know we need to keep exercising so we can keep on enjoying our lives and our families. I'd also like to personally thank each of you for attending this virtual event and for supporting parks, trails, education, recreation, and habitat in our local communities. Back in the summer of 2020, with the COVID pandemic influencing all of our lives, it was so interesting to see so many families, grandparents, children, everyone coming out to the trails to walk them, to experience them, just to get outdoors, just get some fresh air, see something new. We saw people up from London, from Stratford. I remember a whole group of university students, probably from Western, out on a Sunday afternoon walking the trails as a group just to do something different, just to see something different and to get outdoors. So the great outdoors is wonderful for all of us. Exercise is always good for all of us. And certainly walking is one of the simplest, easiest things to do and to help keep your health and strength up. So come out, walk the trails, enjoy the trails, see Mother Nature at its best. Thank you. Take care.
Good evening. My name is Abby Gutteridge, and I'm Corporate Services Coordinator with the AuSable Bayfield Conservation Authority. I'm here tonight to tell you a little bit more about accessing our online auction, which has now started March 31st. It's open now for bidding and runs for a week until April 7th at 9 p.m. The easiest way to access our auction is actually to go to conservationdinner.com. On that homepage, you'll find a link directly to the Trellis site, where our auction is taking place. The conservationdinner.com also has a lot of good information about our restaurant partnership and other events going on. What you'll need to do is once you get into the Trellis site, you're going to need to either log in to your old account or sign up. If you were bidding last year, you probably have a login already. Whether or not we can remember the password is another thing entirely. But as long as you have a valid email address and credit card information, you can always create a new account if you need to. Once you've created the account, you'll get a pop-up notification asking if you want notifications through the auction. That's a really great feature to turn on. If you put your email address in, your notifications will come through email, or if you include your cell phone number, you'll get a text with notifications about whether or not you've been outbid on an item. So a really great feature if you really have your eye on something. After you log in, you're ready to start bidding. There are over 165 items in the auction this year. It's a lot to scroll through, but make sure you scroll right through to the bottom because there are some really great items that were added just in the past week or so. If you find it a little overwhelming, there are some categories along the top that you can sort by, such as food and drink, or maybe house and home, or sports, and that way it'll narrow down the options for you. Another way that you can support this year is by donating financially. And you can do that on the Trellis site. There is a donation button. So when you find that, you can put in the amount you want to donate and go from there. The other option is always to call the AuSable Bayfield office during the week, Monday through Friday, and we can certainly help you out with a donation. The number there is 519-235-2610. Once you've signed in, you are ready to start bidding and really just have fun this week. We have so many great items, and I just want to actually thank all of our donors. This is such a generous community, and we are continually blown away by the generosity, even in a couple of very difficult years. To get so many businesses and individuals donating is so heartening. So thank you so much, and I really hope you all have fun this week. Bye, everyone.
Sometimes in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you won't let show. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. You just call on me, sister, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need Call me. I'm here if you call me. We serve. Call me. Lean on me. Lean on me.
Well, there we have it. A good way to end it. Lean on Me. It's always a great tune. We're going to wrap things up here, and I just wanted to remind you that, can we go to this next camera again? I'm going to remind you where your money is going to go. In the next week, through Dining Through Community, this is here, we got, there, look at that. Turtle monitoring, Port Franks and Elsa Craig. All right, your money's going to go to conservation, education programs. Oh, this is high tech, look at me. By the way, I printed in black and white because I'm trying to conserve my color. $1,000 student environmental bursary, yes. Summer job at Ausable Bayfield Conservation Area. And, trail improvements, Bayfield, Clinton, Park Hill, Lucan, Arkona, Exeter, and Varna. Aquatic habitat studies. And recreation opportunities in parks and conservation areas and communities throughout the watershed, which is, look, it's huge, it's massive. They're doing incredible work. $1.2 million raised. This year it happens starting tonight, goes to April 7th. Tim Cummings is going to be with you April 7th just to close the whole thing off. So go and bid and dine at those restaurants I showed you. And the boys will be happy that I'm gone with all my paper. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the bidders. Thank you to the donors. Thank you to the restaurateurs. Thank you to the guys here. Thank you to Tim Cumming for asking me to do this as a newbie, coming in as a newbie, to Abby, to Sharon, the staff there at Ausable. And can I go to the camera one more time to Nick and to Clint and Andrew and to Mark? I just want to say, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for making this happen. And it's been a lot of fun. Go out, bid, dine. It's been a privilege to be with you tonight. Thank you to Hay and Hurontel and TCC as well for making all of this possible. Good night.